Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, even if it's that sort of thing, Earth time. My name's Colin. I'm of what you probably know as the lizard leaders of the planet Earth. And I've got a bone to pick with you, to be honest, because a lot of people have been disrespecting our supreme leader on Earth, the man you call Ike. No, not the US president, the former Stoke City goalkeeper, David Ike. He tried to warn you all about us putting our other supreme leaders on planet disguised as a cheerful German family who are living in the Palace of Buckingham, but you simply laughed him out of the place. This will not do. We want a bit more respect in the future for us lizard people. So anyway, sorry to interrupt tonight's programming. Back to the usual. Of course, it's me. How's you going there? Good evening. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I probably need these this time. Whoa. Yes. Well, what an interesting month it's been. There's been heated debate in Parliament, questions in the national media, the nation divided and rising, of course. And in spite of all this, here I am, back again. This month, I've learned the difference between encyclopedia and encyclopedic. The first is a book of fact, and the second is someone that knows them all. I've also learnt the difference between cardiac and tachycardic. Tachycardic is a regular heartbeat, while cardiac is Jeremy Clarkson. And in other news, He Davis never had this. Thank you. And in other news, Specsavers has today announced that they're going to start doing driving tests. Can't imagine what inspired that decision. It came to my attention that Boris Johnson sacking Dominic Cummings is a bit like Emu sacking Rod Hull halfway through fixing the TV error. So maybe that's another mystery solved. Right, tonight's quiz is going to be brought to you by this bell. This bell was my grandfather's bell. It was a prize heirloom of his. He bought it so he could impress his neighbours by pretending he had a grandfather clock, which would, of course, chime. So he would chime out the hour on the hour. Now, he was kind of a resourceful fellow, my grandfather. So he always made sure that his imaginary grandfather clock had a mechanism for switching off the chiming at night. So he didn't disturb people. Unfortunately, one night he forgot and he had to stay up chiming on the hour. Every hour. He's a thorough sort of person. So anyway, we are probably done enough prevarication. And let's say hello to people. We are all back in. Clive and Linda. Hello, Clive and Linda. From Manchester, the test card makeover. That reminds me, anybody that is below a certain age will probably not remember what the test card was about. The test card was so that you had something to look at when you woke up in front of the TV at 4 o'clock in the morning. And in this case, it was the little girl in front of the blackboard. Unfortunately, someone's done a little bit of graffiti on it and changed it all about a bit. The Cockley Kickers. Hello, Jane Petrie. At last managed to join. Eve Chambers, hello Eve, and Holly Chambers' team, the winners from the last time. Well done. Doc Ray Mitchell's, Jane, hello Jane, how are you doing? We have the Glen Reading Guides, hello again, and hello to Alex and Ant, and Eve and David from Molly, Woden, Jen and Val. Michael Reed, hello for the Reeds, and who else have we had? Cockley Kickers. I wonder who the Cockley Kickers are. Cockley, that's just up the road. It is. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm sure all will become clear to us. So, we're here to do a quiz, I believe. Let's get on with it. We're going to do round one first of all. And this is going to be general knowledge. So, first question in round one. Has everyone got a pen and paper? Has everyone got a spare pen and a spare piece of paper and a spare gonk to go on the end of your pencil? Well then, we'll kick off. Right, round one, general knowledge, and the first question. Which is the smallest Australian state by land area? Which is the smallest Australian state by land area? Jane Newport said, "Oh, waiting for the Stockdale clan." Well, we'll crack on with the questions, and then I'll just run through them when we get to the end of this round for anyone that needs to catch up. So, question one was which is the smallest Australian state by land area? Question two is the Marina Valley is a mountainous region on which planet? The Marina Valley is a mountainous region on which planet? That was question two. Sorry, I'll leave you a couple of seconds to have an argument about that one. Okay, question number three. How many wives did Henry VIII have executed? How many wives did Henry VIII have executed? So he had 6 wives. How many of those did he have executed? Question number 4. What is the second most common gas in Earth's atmosphere? What is the second most common gas in the Earth's atmosphere? Incidentally, tonight's quiz is also brought to you by Peroni Red, available at Booths and other good supermarkets. So that's question 4. Question number 5. Who was Prime Minister when the UK joined the EU? Who was Prime Minister when the UK joined the EU? Oh, I forgot to use the bell. I've no idea what it signified. It's just here and gave me opportunity to tell you all about my grandfather and his wonderful imaginary grandfather clock. Okay, question number 6. Which noble gas comes first alphabetically? Which noble gas comes first alphabetically? Question number 7. Who is the current FLOTUS? FLOTUS. Who is the current FLOTUS? Question number 8. In what city was Boris Johnson born? Now, I know we've had a similar question before, or a question similar to this before, but in which city exactly was he born? Sadly. What do you mean I can't say that? Getting political. Right on, Missy Thatcher. Question number 9. Johnson Space Center, the home of NASA's Mission Control, is in which US state? Johnson Space Center, the home of NASA's Mission Control, is in which US state? And the final question, question number 10, final question of the first round is, Kaylee Kitson and John Redmond are fictional characters who share a car in which TV series? Kaylee Kitson and John Redmond are fictional characters who share a car in which TV series? I know, Aggie, that's it. Oh, Aggie, don't stop barking. Start barking. That's enough. You're giving the answers away. Shh. So, for the benefit of anybody who's a little bit late to join us, I'll just whiz through those questions again. Add a comment if you want me to slow down or You want anything particular repeating after I've done this? So, right, well, general knowledge number 1, which is the smallest Australian state by land area? Question number 2, the Mariana Valley is a mountainous region on which planet? Question number 3, how many wives did Henry VIII have executed? Number 4, what is the most common gas in Earth's atmosphere? Number 5, who was Prime Minister when the UK joined the EU? Number 6, which noble gas comes first alphabetically? Question number 7, who is the current FLOTUS, FLOTUS? Number 8, in what city was Boris Johnson born? Number 9, Johnson Space Center, home to NASA's mission control, is in which US state? Number 10, Kaylee Kitson and John Redmond are fictional characters who share a car in which TV program? Hello, Glenn Reading Guides. Please could I, for Jane Newport, can I repeat question 4? Of course I can, Jane. What is the second most common gas in Earth's atmosphere? The second most common gas in Earth's atmosphere. I think second most common gas. Yeah, we've done that. We've done that for the Mitchells, and we must all be up to date. Okay. So unless we like any more questions repeating, are we there? Any more for any more? I think that must be it then. So, are we ready for some answers? We're all ready for answers. We want answers. Right. Question number 1. Which is the smallest Australian state by land area? That's Tasmania. Tasmania is the smallest Australian state by land area. Number 2, the Mariana Valley is on Mars. The Mariana Valley is on Mars. If you said the moon, which maybe some people have, the moon is actually a moon, not a planet, technically. Sorry. Number 3, Henry VIII had 2 wives executed, just 2 of them. Number 4, the second most common gas in Earth's atmosphere is oxygen. Number 5, the Prime Minister when UK joined the EU was Ted Heath. The noble gas that comes first alphabetically is argon. The current FLOTUS, F-L-O-T-U-S, if you've heard of POTUS, President of the United States, then that's the First Lady of the United States, which is Melania Trump. Oof. Just take a taste out. Sorry, I'm getting political again. Mustn't do that. Very bad. Number 8, Boris Johnson was born in New York City. Number 9, the Johnson Space Center, home of NASA's mission control, is in Texas. Houston, Texas, as in Houston, we have a problem, from Apollo 13. And number 10, Kaylee Kitson and John Redmond are fictional characters who share a car in Carshare. So Peter Kay's Carshare. Kaylee Kitson and John Redmond are the characters in Peter Kay's Carshare. If you want to have a quick tot up of your scores and put them in the live chat, then we'll give a shout out to you and let you know who's doing well and who's doing not quite so well. There we go. We'll come back to Chameleon for the scores. Doc Ray Mitchells are on 5. The Bray family 9. Nice. Paddy is on 6. The Reeds are on 8. Ed Petrie is on 5. The Cockley Kickers. Cockley Kickers? They're on 5 as well. Jane Petrie's on 9. Good work. Jane Newport is a steady central 5 there. Well done, Glady Reddings. Guide, 9 out of 10.
It's too easy.
Well done, folks.
It's too easy that round.
I've gone after a difficult questions last time. I think I've gone too far the other. Eve Chambers, 10 out of 10. Amazing. Who else have we got? I thought it must be everybody. 25 connections. Anyway. Oh no, it wasn't. Sorry. Well, it's easy for Eve Chambers, and also very easy if you've got the answers in front of you.
Linda got 20.
Ted Heath was PM when we joined the EC. The EU.
Yes, he's right.
Absolutely right. Everybody gets an extra point for me getting that bit wrong. Well done, Patrick, for letting me know. Yes, the EEC, European Economic Community, not the European Union, which would have been something else. The Thatcher was, yeah, absolutely. Well spotted. Well done, Wilson. I'm glad you spotted that one. I was just waiting for someone to pick me up on that one. Top marks all round. Give yourself extra points there. So if we're ready, how about we do round 2, which I've called Who Was Then, What Is Now? This is the former names of countries. I'm going to read out. Hello, let me in. No, it should be let me out, Gina. Hello, Gina. How are you doing? Welcome to round 2, Gina. You managed to get in? 7. Well done, Patrick Ducker. We all done? Okay, let's go on to round 2. Who was then, what is now? It's the former names of countries. I'm going to read out, Clive and Linda, well done on 7. I'm going to read out the former names of countries. I'd like you, please, to give me the current name. So, question number 1 of round 2 is, what is the current name of Siam? Siam. That was a historic name for it. What is it called currently? Question number 2. Burma. Now, there's 2 possible answers for this one. You can have either. So, Burma is a historical name. What is it called? Gina Farncombe, I think I am here. That's about all of us can, or any of us can do. It's the best we can come up with. Number 3, the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. What is that called now? The former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. That was question 3. Let's have the bell again. Oh, crazy stuff. Question number 4. Persia. What is Persia called these days? Question number 5. Ceylon. What's the current name for Ceylon? What? I know, Gina. I've no idea. Oh, you've got one. Nice one. I only know because I've got the answers in front of me. I'd be hopeless otherwise. So, the current name for Ceylon, please. That was question number 5. Question number 6. Abyssinia. No, I'm not going. It's just the name, the former name of the country. Abyssinia. So, number 6. What is the current name for Abyssinia? Interesting one, this. Surprised me when I read it. Question number 7. New Holland. It was a country that was originally called New Holland, or at one stage was called New Holland. What's it called now? What did it change its name to? So New Holland. What's it called now? Question number 8. Formosa. Formosa. That's the original name of the country. What name does it go by now? Flies everywhere. Oh, I should be happy. Ugh. Number 9, Rhodesia. Rhodesia. What's Rhodesia called now? Never in 1,000 years. That's the poorest impersonation I think I've done this year. Unless you know different. Number 10, Kampuchea. Kampuchea. What is Kampuchea called now? So we'll give you a couple of minutes to think about that. If anybody would like any of the questions reading out again, I'll be pleased to do that. Just give us a shout on the live chat. Just getting a snack. Got to get 5, 6, and 8 again. Okay. Cockley Kickers for number 5. Okay. Number 5. Oh, and internet connection drop. No problem. Well, why don't I go back to the beginning of that round and then kick off again. Number 1 was Siam. Number 2 was Burma. Number 3 is the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. Catchy. Number 4, Persia. Number 5, Ceylon. Number 6, Abyssinia. Number 7, New Holland. Number 8, Formosa. Number 9, Rhodesia. And number 10, Kampuchea.
We changed some.
Oh. So 1 Siam, 2 Burma, 3 former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, 4 Persia, 5 Ceylon, 6 Abyssinia, 7 New Holland, 8 Formosa, 9 Rhodesia, 10 Kampuchea. So has everybody got the answers? Well, I have. That's to be expected. Right, let's move on to the answers to that round. The answers to round 2. Who was then, what is now? And number 1, what was originally called Siam is now called Thailand. Number 2, Burma is called Myanmar or Burma. They use either or. Apparently Myanmar was introduced by the military government to try and change people's allegiances. But people still call it Burma, so it could still be Burma or Myanmar. Number 3, the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. They probably wanted to save space on stamps, I don't know. It's now called North Macedonia. North Macedonia. Number 3, the answer is North Macedonia. Number 4, Persia is now called Iran. Number 5, Ceylon is now Sri Lanka. Number 6, Abyssinia is Ethiopia. Number 7, New Holland, Australia. Number 8, Formosa is Taiwan. Number 9, Rhodesia is Zimbabwe. And number 10, Kampuchea is Cambodia. So I hope we got some good scores in that round. And if you could start giving me your scores, please, I'll give you a shout out to see how we're getting on. Jay Petrie, 7. Gina Farncombe, 7. Doc Ray Mitchells, repeat 8. The answer to 8? Sorry, the answer to 8 is Taiwan. Formosa became Taiwan. So, Michael Reed, 7 out of 10. Paddy Palmer, 7 out of 10. Bray Family, 7. Glenn Reading Guide, 6 out of 10. Michael Reed says, great round. Yes, it is great being round. Eve Chambers, 10 again. My goodness me.
Too easy, this.
It's like I'm a university challenge team. What are they called? The people that won everything. Anyway, well done, Eve Chambers, 10 again. Doc Ray Mitchell's 6 out of 10. God, it's a bit warm, isn't it? How can chameleons survive? Patrick Ducker, 9 out of 10. Good scores there. Patrick. Are we done? I think I'll come across any more scores as they come up, as they're announced on here. So, if my lovely assistant, Helen.
What do I need to do?
If is about to take her place, we're about to get into the music.
Hello,
Hello, this is my lovely assistant, Helen.
Hello. Right, what am I doing? What do I need to do? Oh, this.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you all in a time machine up in Matterdale? Of course, we've always been a time machine.
Why?
It's not so much where is Matterdale, but when is Matterdale? Right, so.
Hello, Gina.
No, Gina says hello, Helen.
Hello, Gina. Right.
So,
Hi, buddy.
Is there anybody else?
I don't know. I'm waiting.
Do you want to come and take my chair?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Right. We're going to get round to the music round. Now, in times gone by, quizzes gone by, we've had the ukulele round. Now, by popular demand, that's not coming back. But someone did say, could we have some trombone? Well, I'm nothing if not accommodating. So, at great expense, I've been out and ordered one. So if we're about ready, off we go. Enough! Stop it! I'm turning red. Goodness me. Right, that's something else going on Barry's skip shortly. Right. Okay. Are we ready for round 3 music? We're going to do the just questions this time. You'll be very pleased to learn. So, question number 1. Which American vocal quartet provided the backing vocals for Elvis Presley between 1956 and 1972?
Okay.
Which American vocal quartet provided the backing vocals for Elvis Presley between 1956 and 1972? Bit of a curveball there, but any Elvis Presley diehard fans will know this, and hopefully that might challenge Eve Chambers. So maybe not 10 out of 10 this round. But some hope. Question number 2. Bono of U2 had a birthday on the 10th of May. How old was he? How old was Bono? He had his birthday on the 10th of May. How old was he this time? Question number 3. Which EastEnders actress represented the UK at Eurovision 1991, which EastEnders actress represented the UK at Eurovision 1991? Hey, another Eurovision question. I don't know why these grouped together. So, number 4. In the 1974 Eurovision held in Brighton, the UK jury gave which eventual winner 0 points? In the 1974 Eurovision Song Contest held in Brighton, the UK jury gave which eventual winner 0 points? Question number 5. Which 2 pop superstars, not just pop stars, not in this quiz, which 2 pop superstars duetted on Ebony and Ivory, which became a #1 hit in 1982? Ebony and Ivory became a #1 hit in 1982, but which 2 pop superstars duetted on it? Well, I have to go topless. Goodness me. That's better. Question number 6. A cover version of Randy and the Rainbows. Who could forget Randy and the Rainbows? A cover version of Randy and the Rainbows' 1963 hit Denise gave which band their first UK top 10 single in 1978? A cover version of Randy and the Rainbows' 1963 hit Denise gave which band their first UK top 10 single in 1978?
I'm sorry, that's me talking to Mum and Dad.
Do a lot of dinging. I do the dinging. Thank you very much. Telephones. What's wrong with that? I have that strapped to my phone all the time. Goodness me, gives people something to complain about. Question number 7. The Killing Moon and the Cutter gave which band UK top 10 chart success in the 1980s? The Killing Moon and the Cutter gave which band UK top 10 chart success? I should write these. You wouldn't imagine that I've written these. The Killing Moon and the Cutter gave which band UK top 10 chart success in the 1980s? Well, hello, Gordon. How are you doing? It is better late than never. I tell you what, since you're just with us, and probably music is your forte, when I get to the end of those, I'll have a whiz straight through and see how you get through. Currently, Gordon, we're on question number 7 of round 3, the music round. Question number 8, though. The Rolling Stones had an album called Exile on where? The Rolling Stones had an album titled Exile on where? Exile on ... as in not exile on where, but what was the word that was missing from there? Oh, getting all classical now. The classical aria, the flower duet from the opera Lakme by Delibes, is used in the TV advert for which high-flying British company? The classical aria, the flower duet from the opera Lakme by Delibes, is used in the TV advert for which high-flying British company? It's like Cluedo. Nick in the kitchen with a copper piping. So that's question 9. Question number 10, staying with a classical theme. Who composed the operas Rigoletto, Il Trovatore, and La Traviata? Who composed the operas Rigoletto, Il Trovatore, and La Traviata? Oh, we cover some ground, don't we? Anyway, for the benefit of Gordon and Cecilia, hello, you guys. We'll have a quick whiz through the music questions again. Feel free in the comments to ask for anything, any questions to be repeated. Question number 1, which American vocal quartet provided the backing vocals for Elvis Presley between 1956 and 1972? Number 2, Bono of U2 had a birthday on the 10th of May. How old was he? I tell you what we do to within 2 years. If you get it right to within 2 years, you get the points. So Bono of U2 had a birthday on the 10th of May. How old was he? That was question number 2. Number 3, which EastEnders actress represented the UK at Eurovision 1991? Which EastEnders actress represented the UK at Eurovision 1991? Question number 4. In the 1974 Eurovision held in Brighton, the UK jury gave which eventual winner 0 points? Question number 5. Which two pop superstars duetted on Ebony and Ivory, which became a number 1 hit in 1982? Which two pop superstars duetted in Ebony and Ivory, which became a number 1 hit in 1982? Number 6. A cover version of Randy and the Rainbow's 1963 hit Denise gave which band their first UK top 10 single in 1978? Number 7. The Killing Moon and the Cutter gave which band UK top 10 chart success in the 1980s? The Killing Moon and the Cutter. Which band did those 2 songs? Number 8. The Rolling Stones had an album which was titled Exile on Where? Exile on Where? What's the missing name? Missing word. Number 9. The classical aria, the flower duet from the opera Lakme by Dalib, is used in the TV advert for which high-flying British company? Number 10. Who composed the operas Rigoletto, Il Trovatore, and La Traviata? Who was the composer of Rigoletto, Il Trovatore, and La Traviata? Give you a couple of minutes. Oh, time to go to the bar. Hey, stop the chat.
Gordon wants questions 1 to 5.
Okay. Now, Gordon, Cecilia, are you happy? Did you get 1 to 5 then on the run through, or do you still need them repeating?
Who's asked for them repeating? 1 to 5 remaining.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 1. Just do 1 to 5 for Gordon. Which American vocal quartet provided the backing vocals for Elvis Presley between 1956 and 1972? So, who was Elvis's famous backing quartet? Number 2, Bono. Who's this Bono? Bono of U2 had a birthday on the 10th of May. How old was he? I'll give you that to within 2 years. Number 3, which EastEnders? Oh, happy we heard the questions. It's just the, yeah, me too. Okay. Are we ready for the answers? Talking of answers, let's go there. Which American vocal quartet provided the backing vocals for Elvis Presley between 56 and 72? That was the Jordanaires. The Jordanaires. Or as one person said, the answer to that was maybe the Jackson 4. Just a slimmed down version of the, who could that be? A slimmed down version of the those famous guys. Number 2, Bono of U2 had a birthday on the 10th of May. He was 60. Bono, 60. Goodness me. Bono was 60. If you got 58, 59, 60, 61, or 62, you get the points. Number 3, which EastEnders actress represented the UK at Eurovision in 1991? That's Samantha Janus. Samantha Janus represented the UK at Eurovision. Samantha Janus, sister of the rotund Hugh. So that's the answer to number 3. Is it Janice? Oh, I'm sorry, that gag doesn't work then, does it? That's me in trouble. In the 1974 Eurovision held in Brighton, the UK jury gave which eventual winner 0 points? Goodness me, they were good. It was Waterloo by ABBA, probably the most famous Eurovision song. After Boom Banga Bang, of course. Number 5, the two pop superstars that duetted on Ebony and Ivory, that was Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. That was question number 5. Number 6, a cover version of Randy and the Rainbow's 1963 hit Denise was a top 10 single in 1978 for Blondie, who just took a letter off the end and called it Denis, or Dennis, or Denis. I don't remember, that's 2 letters they took off. But that was Blondie, the answer to number 6. Number 7, The Killing Moon and the Cutter were top 10 chart hits for Echo and the Bunnymen. Number 8, the Rolling Stones had an album called Exile on Main Street. Exile on Main Street is the answer to number 8. Question number 9, the classical aria, the flower duet from the opera Lakme, is used in the TV advert for which high-flying British company, and that's BA. Obviously, that was written before the lockdown, and we've no idea who will be high-flying in the future. So that BA, the answer to number 9. And the composer of the opera's Rigoletto, Travatore, and Traviata was Giuseppe Verdi, or Joe Green. You can have that. What was answer 7? The Killing Moon and the Cutter was by Echo and the Bunnymen. Anybody need any more answers reading out? Otherwise, if you could just hit me with your...
The Braves want to know if they can get 1 point for Paul McCartney,
or
half for one of them.
You can have half a point for Paul McCartney as long as he doesn't sing. Jane Petrie, the Petries, well done. 7 points. Pretty young, that's pretty good. Eve Chambers, yes! Eve didn't get full marks. Team Holly Chambers got 8.5 out of 10. Impressive scoring anyway. Number 10, Rigoletto, Travatore, Traviata was Giuseppe Verdi. The Mitchells, 5.5. Michael Reed, 6. Cockley Kickers, Gone for a Walk Up Carbaro. Paddy Palmer, 61 out of 2. Oh, 6.5, sorry. Gina and Richard.
Dear, they've got a dear.
Dear, 6. Dear,
Dear, yeah.
Dear, 6. Dear, 5, sorry. Brave Family, 3.5, sorry about that. Patrick Duggar, 3 out of 10. Can you spot the people that didn't have a misspent youth? Michael Reed, it was Stevie Wonder. Ebony and Ivory. Ebony and Stevie Wonder.
Oh, I think they might be right.
Yes.
And reading guides have come back with that.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, there's lots of errors in the quiz tonight. Sorry about that one, but I thought I'd fact checked. Been through everyone. Yes, Stevie Wonder. Yeah. Oh goodness me. So that's an extra 2 points for anyone that spotted. I'm glad you spotted that one, Wilson. Spotted that it was Stevie Wonder. So extra 2 points for Gordon and Cecilia. So that's 6.5. Yeah, Stephen. Oh goodness me. Yeah, here we go. So Eve Chambers, Chambers Hawley team are 24 out of 10 again. And Paul McCartney, yeah. Brave Family, 4 revised. Well done. Thought it was 2. 6 then. Whoopee. 5 revised. Yes, he was right. Yeah, absolutely. Goodness me. That's sorry for the errors creeping in. 6 out of 10 for Gina, Paddy, up to 7 out of 10. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Oh, goodness me. Well done, you guys. Yeah, Stevie, completely right. I think he was helping me write the questions tonight. So, Clive and Linda, well done. We're going to have a tiny break while you get off to the bar and go and do whatever you need. We're going to pause the video so we can have an in-depth discussion about who was responsible for the answers, which is me. We'll put the test card back up, and you'd have to be blind to me. Don't crazy guys. Can you say that? We'll see you at 5-2. Thanks very much for joining us in the first half. I'll see you in a moment.
You do wear the hat instead.
Oh, I get to wear the hat. Oh, it's a bit huggy there. Good eye.
You look like Paddington. You look like Paddington Bear.
Never work with children or animals, says Aggie. So, yeah. Can you turn the volume down? Ooh, that's really confusing. Okay, thank you very much. Welcome back to part 2 of the quiz. And has everyone got the drinks? Yeah. Oh, I've got some glasses here. Here we are. All right, live chat and stuff like that. Okay. Oh, that's Helen's hat. Right, are we? Hopefully, we'll get Brian and Edwina on with comments somewhere, or should we go straight on to the questions? I'm sure you're right. I'm really sat on the trade test card. Goodness me, that never happened in real television. Okay, let's get on with round 4, which is sport. Round 4, sport. And question number 1 in round 4 is New Zealand Ivan Major was world champion 6 times in which motorsport? New Zealander Ivan Major, Mauger, was world champion 6 times in which motorsport? I still haven't had any freebies. It's no goodness. Question number 2. Which 2 football clubs share the San Siro Stadium? Which 2 football clubs share the San Siro Stadium? Question number 3. With a cumulative distance of 189 meters, Hungarian Peter Szep, SZEP, is the current world champion in which sport combining water and rock? So with a cumulative distance of 189 meters, Hungarian Peter Szep is the current world champion in which sport combining water and rock? 189 meters. That's a cumulative distance that got him the world championship. I don't know, my phone's doing something. Number 4. Who won the 2019 FA Cup final? Who won the 2019 FA Cup final?
I know that one.
I can understand if it's a difficult question. It's not a very famous team or anything.
I know
like
that one.
Yes. Question number 4. Who won the 2019 FA Cup final? Sticking with football, the football teams Hearts and Hibs come from which city? The football teams Hearts and Hibs come from which city? I expect Brian and Edwina to be top scorers on that one. So the football teams Hearts and Hibs come from which city? In cricket, in LBW, what does the B stand for? What does the B stand for in LBW? Number 7. Which race is the highlight of the French horse racing season and is held each October? Which race is the highlight of the French horse racing season held each October? Question number 8, Olympics. Prior to Usain Bolt, who was the last person to simultaneously hold the sprint titles at both 100 meters and 200 meters? So Olympics, prior to Usain Bolt, he was the last person to simultaneously hold the sprint titles at both 100 meters and 200 meters. Question number 9. In 1980, 62 countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics in protest at what action by the Soviet government? In 1980, 62 countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics in protest at what action by the Soviet government? The irony. So what was going on around 1980? Of course, 62 countries to boycott the Moscow Olympics. Maybe they didn't have enough drugs to take with them. I don't know. Oh no, that's the Russians. Number 10. On the Olympics, quite an Olympic theme this time. In this round, at the opening ceremony of the Olympics, the teams parade in alphabetical order in the language of the host nation, apart from which 2 exceptions? So in the opening ceremony, right at the very end, the teams of the Olympics, the teams parade in alphabetical order in the language of the host nation, apart from which 2 exceptions? So does anybody want any questions repeating? We're all happy? Are the questions coming quicker on your device? Any questions? Any comments?
No question, no comments.
No comments?
No, it's just the last one is Glen Reading Guides. Okay.
Glen Reading Guides, okay. Well, that's okay with me. So if everybody's okay, then let's get on with the answers. So round 4, the answer to question 1, New Zealander Ivan Major was world champion 6 times in Speedway. Number 2, the 2 football clubs that share. Oh, sorry, Tony. Number 10, I'll repeat that. At the opening ceremony of the Olympics, the teams parade in alphabetical order in the language of the host nation, apart from which 2 exceptions? Okay, let's get back to the answers. We're getting to number 2. The 2 football clubs that share the San Siro Stadium, that's Inter Milan and AC Milan. Number 3, with a cumulative distance of 189 meters, Hungarian Peter Shep is the, I wonder if that's pronounced correctly, probably not, is the current world champion in which sport combining water and rock? That's stone skimming. Stone skimming. The world championships are held in Scotland somewhere most of the time, I believe. And number 4, who won the 2019 FA Cup final? That was, I was waiting for Helen to jump up with the answer there. Manchester City.
Sorry, Manchester
Are the current
City.
holders of the F. Oh, she's doing something else. What could be more important? Goodness me. She's wearing a hat. Yes, that's more important. Obviously more important. So, question number 4. The holders of the FA Cup are Manchester City. Number 5. The football teams Hearts and Hibs come from Edinburgh. Okay. Hello, Lucy and the family. Here is Tony Lywood. Problems with the dog. Hey, who hasn't? What was number two, please? The answer to number two, the two football clubs that share the San Siro Stadium are AC Milan and Inter Milan. The football teams, number five, the football teams, Hearts and Hibs, come from Edinburgh. Number six, in cricket, in LBW, the B stands for before, leg before wicket. Number seven, which races are highlights of the French horse racing season? Each October, the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Number eight, Olympics prior to Usain Bolt. The last person to simultaneously hold the sprint titles at 100 and 200 meters was Carl Lewis. In 1980, 62 countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics in protest at the Soviets' invasion of Afghanistan. So that was Afghanistan, the invasion of Afghanistan. Number 10, at the opening ceremony of the Olympics, the teams parade in alphabetical order, apart from which two exceptions. That's Greece, who come in first, and of course the host nation, who come in last. So they don't detract from all of the other nations that are parading in. So let me know very quickly if you want any more of those answers reading out. Otherwise, just tot up your scores and let me know how you're getting on. Gene Farm, 5 out of 10, 50s. That's not bad. 50%. About a pass mark these days, isn't it? Was that an A star? Or does everybody get an A star these days? Glen Reading Guides, 4 out of 10. Brave Family, 7.5 out of 10. Cockley Kickers, 4 out of 10. Michael Reed, 8. Patrick Ducker, magnificent, 2. You haven't misspent your youth at all there, Patrick. Eve Chambers, Holly Chambers, 6 out of 10. Goodness me, we know your weak spot. Paddy Palmer, a very dismal 3. Jane Petrie, 5.5. Dockrane Mitchells, oh dear. Should I read that out? 2.5 for the Dockrane Mitchells. 5 out of 10 for the Stockdales and Lywood. Lywood must be. 5 out of 10 Stockdales and Lywood. Gordon Lightburn and Celia, 6.5.
Is that 7.5 then? Or is that 6.5?
That's a good quote. A good point from Helen. 6.5. Is that 7? I think it's just 6.5. Let's leave it at that one. Right, if everybody's happy, well, relative, isn't it? It's all relative. We'll go on to what has become, over the last few months, the most requested part of the quiz, and that's the final round. So round 5, more general knowledge. And when we're ready, we'll get on to question 1 of round 5. On this day, which is the 31st of May, I know it's difficult, I have to look it up. On this day, 1910, which country declared its independence from the United Kingdom? On this day, 1910, which country declared its independence from the United Kingdom? Question number 2. In what year did Nelson Mandela become president of South Africa? In what year did Nelson Mandela become president of South Africa? Question number 3. I'll give you a second. I hate year questions. I don't know why I keep asking them. They're probably easy to find or easy to make up. Anyway, in what year did Nelson Mandela become president of South Africa? Question number 3. Here's the one for Sunday evening TV addicts. Whose lethal hat was recently valued at £30,000 on the Antiques Roadshow? Whose lethal hat was recently valued at £30,000 on the Antiques Roadshow? I know, I didn't understand that. We'll get to that later. Maybe a different version. Oh, sorry, Clive and Linda, 6.5. Good scoring there, Clive and Linda. Question number 4. odd one out, staying with the James Bond theme. Which of the following was not a gadget issued to 007 in any of the James Bond films? Was it A, a machine gun violin, B, explosive toothpaste, C, a cigarette rocket launcher, or D, radioactive lint? So number 4 is odd one out. Which of those ones is an odd one out? Which of those was not a gadget issued to 007 in any of the James Bond film? Was it A, a machine gun violin, B, explosive toothpaste, C, cigarette rocket launcher, or D, radioactive lint? Team Hawley Chambers, we watched that one too. There's too much intelligence going on in the Matterdale Valley. Too much information being stored up there. So that was question 4. Moving on to question 5. A comedic stage play by Eric Chappell called The Banana Box has a lead character called Mr. Rooksby, the landlord. It found television fame under what title? So a comedic stage play by Eric Chappell called The Banana Box had a lead character called Mr. Rooksby, the landlord. It found television fame under what title? So comedic stage play, Eric Chappell, Mr. Rooksby, Banana Box. When it went to the TV, it found fame under what title? Can I repeat? Can I repeat? Can I repeat? I can repeat. Most definitely I can repeat. The Bray family, can I repeat? Can I repeat which one? Just put a number on there and I'll come back to it in a second. Question number 6. Topical. Very topical. Elon Musk's SpaceX company gives its current rockets the name of which bird? Elon Musk's SpaceX company gives its current rockets the name of which bird? And there was one took off yesterday. Or was it the day? Yesterday took off. On the first manned space mission to set off from American soil in lots of years. So getting back to the Bray family's question, to repeat number 4, the odd one out. Which of the following was not a gadget issued to 007 in any of the James Bond films? Was it A, a machine gun violin, B, explosive toothpaste, C, cigarette rocket launcher, or D, radioactive lint? So which of those was not issued a gadget issued to 007 in any of the James Bond films? So bobbing back to the order, which was, we had number 6 about the SpaceX rockets and what's the name of them. Gives current rockets the name of which bird? SpaceX. And number 7, which TV chef fronts the River Cottage? Which TV chef fronts the River Cottage? Repeat number 6, please. Okay. Elon Musk Space Company, SpaceX company, gives its current rockets, that's the rocket bit, the name of which bird? So what does SpaceX call its rockets, its fleet of rockets at the moment? Named after a bird, but which bird? And number 7, which TV chef fronts the River Cottage? Number 8, the West Coast Mainline train operator, Avanti. The West Coast Mainline train operator, Avanti, is jointly owned by First Group and which other company? The West Coast Mainline train operator, Avanti, is jointly owned by First Group and which other company? Question number 9. The 1987 protocol that banned the use of ozone-depleting CFC refrigerant chemicals was named after which Canadian city? The 1987 protocol, which banned the use of ozone-depleting CFC refrigerant chemicals, was named after which Canadian city? The protocol. And finally, as is customary, at the end of the round, we get to question 10. In the trailer to this quiz, which is on the YouTube channel that you're watching at the moment, what this time am I using as a telephone? In the trailer to the quiz, what am I using as a telephone? I'll go and get it. I'll bob back in a moment and I'll go through the questions again and then we'll do the answers.
I can get it.
You could get it. It's just on the, it's halfway up the stair where Kermit's sitting.
I'll put it here so nobody can see it.
Thank you very much. So let's go through those questions just in case anybody missed anything. If anybody wants anything else repeating, just put something in the comments. On this day in 1910, which country declared its independence from the United Kingdom? Number 2, in which year did Nelson Mandela become president of South Africa? Number 3, whose lethal hat was recently valued at £30,000 on Antiques Roadshow? And yes, the reads. Was it Robin, not Kermit? Yes, Robin. Kermit's nephew was halfway up the stairs, so thank you for that little bit. Whose lethal hat was recently valued at £30,000 on Antiques Roadshow? That was number 3. Odd one out, which of the following was not a gadget issued to 007 in any of the James Bond films? Was it A, machine gun violin, B, explosive toothpaste, C, cigarette rocket launcher, or D, radioactive lint? 5, a comedic stage play by Eric Chappell called The Banana Box had a lead character called Mr. Rooksby. The landlord, it found television fame under what title? 6, Elon Musk's SpaceX company gives its current rockets the name of which bird? Number 7, which TV chef fronts a river cottage? Number 8, the West Coast Mainline West Coast Mainline Train Operation Company. Avanti is jointly owned by First Group and which other company? Number 9, the 1987 protocol that banned the use of ozone-depleting CFC refrigerant chemicals is named after which Canadian city? And number 10, in the trailer to this quiz, what am I using as a telephone? Let's get on with the answers. So, number 1, on this day in 1910, it was South Africa declared its independence from the United Kingdom. In 31st of May, of course we all remember, who doesn't? 1910, South Africa declared its independence from the United Kingdom. In what year did Nelson Mandela become president of South Africa? That was 1994. Cool. Number 3, whose lethal hat was valued at £30,000 on the Antiques Roadshow? That was Odd Job from Goldfinger. And another James Bond question, number 4. Odd one out. Which of the following was not a gadget issued to 007? That was A, the machine gun violin. He never had a machine gun violin issued to him yet. Number 5, the comedic stage play by Eric Chappell was originally called The Banana Box, had a lead character called Mr. Rooksby. On TV, they changed the name to Mr. Rigsby, and the title was Rising Damp. Number 6, Elon Musk's SpaceX company gives its current rockets the name Falcon. Note her own, not big bird. Falcon is the name that SpaceX gives to its current rocket fleet. The capsule has got another name. It's Endeavour. The current capsule is called.
I thought it was called Dragon.
It's Dragon. The serial name for the series of the capsules, the bit that goes on the top, is Dragon, but the crew named it Endeavour after the shuttle Endeavour that they went on. Anyone that's sad enough, like me, to be sitting watching the coverage of that would be sadly aware of that. Anyway, number 7. The TV chef that fronts the River Cottage is Hugh Fernley Whittingstall. Number 8, West Coast mainline train operator Avanti is jointly owned by First Group and Trenitalia. The 1987 protocol that banned the use of CFC, ozone-depleting CFC gases, is the Montreal Protocol. And number 10, in the trailer to this quiz, this is what I'm using as a telephone. Oscar. Statue would do, golden statue, but if you get Oscar, you're spot on. So let's see how many people scored on that round. And then if you could give me a tossing up and let me know who scored the most points, then we'll give you a shout out. Tony Linwood and the Stockdale, 7 out of 10. Eve Chambers, 5 out of 10 in that round. Goodness me. Jane Petrie, 7 out of 10. Cockley Kickers, 5 out of 10. Brave Family, 6 out of 10. Glen Reading Guide, 6 out of 10. Eve Chambers, a total of 40 out of 50. Amazing. Goodness me, that's stunning. Number 5, 5 out of 10 for Doc Ray Mitchell's Could Do Better, you say. Well, Gina got 5 also. Patrick Ducker, 4 out of 10, which makes 25 out of 50, exactly halfway. Michael Reed, 6 out of 10, 37 in total. Good scoring, Reed. Cockley Kickers, 26.5 in total. Paddy Palmer, 8. Good scoring there, Paddy. Brave Family, 33.5 overall, 35 to Glen Reading Guides. Excellent stuff there. Good Lightburn, 5 out of 10. When and what did you use and win your Oscar? Haha, that'd be telling.
It's certainly not for this quiz.
Yes, thank you, Ellen. Certainly not for this quiz. Certainly not for playing the trombone. Glen Reading Guys. Or the ukulele. Or my impersonation of a chameleon earlier. Anyway, Tony Linwood and the Stockdales, 29 out of 50. Jane Petrie, 36.5. Dr. Mitchell's 25. David Harrison, 26. Total. Nice scoring, everybody. Hope you all had a good time. Oh, do we get a 1 year out t-shirt for the... No, sorry. No 1 year out t-shirts. This isn't the... Who's the guy? Ken Bruce. Ken Bruce. Incidentally, the clip I was playing of the trombone player was from YouTube, and it was introduced by Ken Bruce with hair, which shows how long ago. So thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully we might be able to do a quiz in person in the pub sometime soon. If not, we'll maybe come up with another virtual quiz, and hopefully we should all get back together again very soon. So thank you very much indeed for joining me. I hope you had a good time, and we'll see you soon. Cheers. Good night.